what being a public figure does to you. Everybody has an opinion about everything. What you wear, whether you shave your head or not, what you look like, you gain weight, you're fat. I mean, they say anything to you. And the first time I was in the Washington Post, the article was so vicious it made me nauseous. I was so shocked that you could say that stuff about somebody you didn't even know based on assumptions and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. They piece it all together and you don't get to say anything back. And what has to happen to survive it, you have to get tougher. Not meaner.
Tougher.
Tougher.
What's the difference?
Mean is when you lash back, and because in a fight like that, if God would turn me loose, woo, I felt something right there. If God would turn me loose, I could hold my own. But when I say tougher, your resilience and your resistance to the irrelevance of things that have nothing to do with your destiny are satanic distractions.
Yeah.
To move you away from where God has placed you.
Yeah.
And you can't be, when I do a pastor's conference and they start asking me questions and stuff, generally somewhere along the night, somebody's gonna come up and tell me about church split or somebody who's saying something about somebody who heard them like that. But when I'm talking to presidents and kings from around the world I've sat across from and talked to, when I get a chance to be in the room with executive and corporate executives and stars whose name, if I would list in here, everybody would know them. They're never talking about what people said because they have developed the toughness that is necessary to survive. I took my son up to the Rock of Gibraltar, and the guide took us up to the top of the Rock of Gibraltar where all the battles were fought. And there, as we went up, spiraling up to the top of the mountain, the higher you went, there were monkeys. And they were jumping all over the cars and everything. And the guide said to us, he said, you know, in certain seasons, it gets so cold up here that when the monkeys first migrated up here in the winter, their tails would freeze off. That's how cold it was. He said, but eventually, when they started birthing their babies, they were born without tails because they had adapted to their environment. That's what I mean about toughness. Mm-hmm. If you are exposed to it long enough, mm-hmm. you'll freeze your tail off.
It's amazing.